Midweek war, no time to wait. Green flag drops, we seal our fate. Stealing speed, knuckles wide. Every corner's a street fight. No rewind, no second chance. You want the lead, you gotta dance. Turn it up, feel the ground shake. One wrong move, yeah, that's all it takes. On Wednesday night thunder, feel the shockwave hit the ground. Engines loud, no backing down. Hear the whole damn place resound. Wednesday night thunder, red line running through the night. Screaming loud, the battle's on All-Star 15 TV under the lights. With Wednesday night thunder. Three wide deep into turn one. Check your mirror, here they come. Slide job clean or pay the price. Every lap is rolling dice. Paint scraped, sparks fly. Crowd jumps when the leaders collide. No fear left, just hunger and fire. Chasing that win till the final tire. No mercy, no regrets. Only legends and wrecks. On Wednesday night thunder, hear the engines tear the air. Side by side, nobody's scared. If you blink, you're already there. Wednesday night thunder, white flag waving, feel the heat. Streaming live for all to see. All-Star 15 brings the speed. Wednesday night thunder, dead. Turn it loose, go. Hold the line. Fight. No lift, no brakes, no compromise. From the sim rig to the screen, every moment raw and mean. Worldwide eyes feel the sound when the thunder hits the ground. Guitar chant section. Hyundai. Nascar. So Wednesday night thunder, feel the lightning in your chest. Last lap, come and give it everything you got left. Wednesday night thunder, checkered flag, scars and pride. Streaming live on All-Star 15 TV tonight. Win or wreck, we ride all night. Wednesday night, turn it loud. Streaming live, All-Star 15 TV. Wednesday night thunder.
It is feature time in Tulsa. Let's go green.
He's got the run, but is it enough? It's a drag race to the finish. Colbert goes from third to first in the last quarter.
Experience the world's most legendary racing events with iRacing. iRacing special events allow any member to compete in full-length multiplayer races based on some of the biggest events in motorsports all year round. Compete in virtual endurance races such as the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, and the Nürburgring 24 Hours. Take on some of the toughest races on the NASCAR calendar, such as the Daytona 500 and the Coke 600. We have races from disciplines across the racing world, from the Indy 500 to the Chili Bowl, from the Bathurst 1000 to the Crandon Championship. Our endurance special events utilize iRacing's team feature, where members can sign up and race together on their own team, swapping drivers throughout the race. Other events use iRacing Super Sessions, where you're not only racing against those on track, but against everyone taking part. As every race progresses, watch and feel the track change, with progressive time of day, dynamic weather and rain, and dynamic track debris and surface changes. Take on your favorite discipline, or try a brand new racing challenge with our biggest races of the year, the iRacing Special Events. Learn more at iracing.com/special-events.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight, race number 7 of the Wednesday Night Thunder Series takes us to upstate New York. We're turning left and right. We're here at Watkins Glen International for a quick 35-lap event. We will only see a caution tonight if the track somehow gets blocked. But qualifying is over in about 20 seconds. But before we run down the grid and the starting lineup for tonight's race, let's bring in the two people that are joining me up in this broadcast booth this evening. The one, the only, the co-owner of Hutch Sport Racing, Mr. Joe Hutchings.
I own I mean, I own
Yeah.
a lot more.
Just because you
Hi,
own
everybody.
50, I own 25, and Jake owns 25. We're all co-owners. You just majorities. Stop with the semantics.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Watkins Glen. Upstate New York is beautiful over this time of year. It's funny how this looks like it's sunny and there's probably 6 inches of snow on the ground there right now. But we also have another person that we need to bring in here really fast. AJ, who is that tonight?
Not really fast. It's been warm up here, so we should be okay. Ground might be a little wet. But making his return, haven't seen him since I think Texas? Question mark.
Tejas?
It is Brandon
Yeah?
Storr.
I think it was Texas. Yeah, because it was the track that this series put on great racing there, and I was really impressed by that because it's really hard to put on good racing in Texas. So yeah, it was Texas. And
Yeah,
tonight we're gonna
definitely
have
Texas.
fantastic racing because Watkins Glen is one of the best road course tracks in America. And I've been to this track for the 6 hours at the Glen. If you're a road racing fan, highly, highly recommend it. And to see these cars, they're not going to take the boot tonight, but I'm excited to see what they do with that bus stop, as we call it.
You got to be careful with saying it's one of the best racetracks in America. I'm pretty sure Joe can name at least 3 or 4 that might be superior, but Joe also has has had a lot of success here on iRacing, so it might be a little.
Well, and Joe could be wrong. That's okay if Joe is wrong.
All right, well, tonight's broadcast, everybody, is going to be fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun, at least with us up in the booth commentating on what's happening on the racetrack with the Wednesday Night Thunder drivers. They are currently gridding, but let's run down our top 10 in the field this evening. You guys will see everybody else cycle through the starting grid. But your front row, your pole sitter, Josh Grosso, and outside pole, the number 7 of Brennan Anderson. Row 2, you have Joe Robert and Andrew Combs. Row 3, starting in 5th, it's Kenneth Passmore and Gary Sack in 6th. Row 4, it's Tyler Dixon and Jesse Corman. And rounding out that top 10, it's Lucas Boyer and Ryan Strunk. Guys, we mentioned how fun this racetrack is. We mentioned how entertaining we were expecting this racetrack to be. What are some takeaways that you look for when these stock cars come to a road course? Brandon, I will start with you.
I think the biggest challenge is that these cars, they have so much power and so much rear grip that whenever you're trying to get on the accelerator, it is so tricky, especially at a track here where you have such high speeds and you're trying to maintain your high speeds. I think we're going to see a lot of issues, specifically exiting turn 1, as well as then getting your way through the bus stop. Those are going to be the most challenging parts, where we're going to see a lot of great passing, essentially in the final 2 turns of the track, as well as down into turn.
Joe, I know you've run here a lot as well. With these stock cars, a little bit different than what you normally run in the LMP2. What are you expecting with these stock cars, these ARCA vehicles, trying to get around Watkins Glen International?
Well, these particular stock cars don't have the power as your Cup cars or your Xfinity cars, so I expect them to maybe try a fuel mileage race. Seeing that we have no cautions, it's very viable to sit there and, try to save fuel, make it in a stop, and, if somebody was able to save some tire, maybe, get away with not changing a set of tires. This is going to be a complete strategy race for all these guys. It's not going to be a straight out war, but it's going to be entertaining to see how the hell get through turn 1.
Turn 1, here at Watkins Glen International is always chaotic. We see drivers fan out going into turn 1, sometimes 4 wide. Sometimes they don't make it through turn 1, and then we have this big incident coming out of the turn. We're not too far away from waiting and seeing. One driver did not make the starts, Ryan Kieser, but we have 24 drivers. A lot of times when it comes to these road courses, ladies and gentlemen, at home, if this is your first time really watching a road course, especially on iRacing, if you keep the car on the racetrack, you're in for a decent finish. But the iRacing official pace Porsche car off of pit road. Barney the flagman has the green flag, and we are a go. Grosso with an excellent restart. Brennan Anderson did not go, is already looking at that 3rd or 4th position as they're 3 wide into 1. No contact.
Look at how wide they all took turn 1. Holy cow.
And they all made it, Joe.
It's a NASCAR related event. There's no track limits.
Well, and I was going to get an opinion from you guys if you thought the first wreck was going to be in turn 1 of the bus stop. Really impressed how they kept it clean, utilizing that off-track capability just to make sure the race keeps going. And a lot of respect going 3 wide and not wrecking in turn 1.
I think strategically going 3 wide might have been the better option, giving everybody the room so you didn't have somebody right behind you piling into the back of you. But already early on into this race on lap 1, we're already seeing over a second lead from Grosso to Robert.
The field's going to fan out really fast.
Oh, absolutely. It always does.
And that's where it's going to set up for, as Joe was talking about earlier. That's the best part to me about road racing is the strategy race, the fuel mileage race. Who's going to be clutching in? Who's going to be trying to save as much fuel as possible and saving their equipment? They were going to set up for a great strategy race.
Already looking at this battle for P2, it's Robert and Anderson up through the S's, heading down the back straightaway towards the bus stop. Whoa! Gotta be careful with those turtles. Could really
These
upset
cars
the
not so
Time
much.
with these
No?
cars.
Yeah, these cars not so much.
You have to be careful only a little bit, but yeah, as Joe said, you don't have to a lot. You actually want to utilize them with this car because I was making mention earlier about how heavy the car is and how much there's rear power down and it's tough to hold it in. You almost need those curbs to kick the car around to be able to rotate at a higher speed.
good
The
insight.
suspensions are runs. Oh, sorry.
No, go, take it.
The suspensions on these cars are set up so soft, all right, just to get the car to. Ooh, there's one in the wall. Somebody just smacked the wall coming out onto the front straight.
And I think it's Justin Barkley who is slow. Oh, he's hitting the inside wall as well. There's something
yeah.
broke on that 56.
57.
I'm sorry, yeah, 57.
67? 67?
Oh God.
Oh, it's 5.7.
No,
Don't,
what I was saying is, there's a lot of suspension travel in these cars. So I mean, you'll see it right here with the car bouncing over the grass. These things will soak up the curbs pretty well.
Good catch, Joe. Watch how hard this impact is. And that left front tire is no longer moving.
Well, and that's just it. These cars, they are not as powerful as a Cup car, but there is no traction control in these cars, and it's all rear-wheel drive based, and the rear of the car is so light. You are going to lose it if you get on the gas too hard. If you're not used to being able to make those sharper turns and get on the gas, you're going to wreck.
Now, we've been staying with this P2 battle. Robert and Anderson have been taking this battle since the drop of the green flag. That has allowed Grosso to almost a 3-second lead on the racetrack. Joe, what do you got?
I was gonna say there is traction control. Your right foot. Oop, there's another one in the wall.
I say that's the best use of traction control, just like this new generation and a manual transmission. That's the anti-theft.
Joe, what was the car? Oh, the double zero. We'll have to back this up the old-fashioned way. It did not populate an incident. But you could see that right front tire here, too. Not spinning. Uh-oh. Ooh!
It's too much of that curbing.
Might be able to make it back around. The bus stop's going to be the hard part for that double zero, and he's threw it onto the back, right out of the carousel.
Oh, there's another one. 27's around in turn one. Not turn one, the last turn.
Uh-oh!
You can't park there.
You can't back up there.
Yeah, that's where giving race control complete credit, deciding that unless the track is blocked, we're not going yellow, I think is a very, very smart idea. And kudos to them for making that decision, because it's going to allow these cars to fan out more, to actually be able to race more. And drivers who aren't as experienced, we're able to have them go around and not have those issues.
As you saw the 13 of Michael Jervy, let's actually jump back to the 13. Watch this. It's going to be blind coming out of the final turn. And oh boy.
Whoa.
Well, that car kind of blended in with the barrel, so thankfully he saw that car around that corner.
Who put that roadblock there?
And the 27 of Cody Sanborn is still on the racetrack. No apparent damage on that Ford Mustang back to 16th, but still chugging along, unlike Jesse Corman and Justin Barkley. All of them have 2 black flags, as Grosso continuing to pull away just shy of a 4-second lead over Brennan Anderson. And for everybody wondering, this was the pass for P2 going into the bus stop. Brennan Anderson to the inside. And it looks like the 16 backed out on entry a little bit, so they didn't go too wide into the bus stop.
Well, that's a smart move because it's a tough braking zone, and it can be a passing zone. But trying to complete that too wide is one of the most challenging parts of any road course, specifically that bus stop.
Look at this line of cars. The 26 of Dixon, the 89 of Sack, Combs in the 77, Strunk in the 67. Don't say it. And then the 72 of Passmore, all under a blanket.
This has been a pretty interesting battle.
Oh!
That 77 car has been all kinds of slideways coming out of the carousel.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and not just out of the carousel, and we saw it in turn 1 as well. Looks like as the tires are still halfway decent, he's able to step on it, but he's really gonna have to adjust his throttle control. He's gonna end up looping it sooner or later.
Oop, the Detroit Lions car looked like it slapped the wall coming out of the front straight.
Yeah, still looks pretty good. Not choking like the Lions.
It's just a little bit of a love tap, and that's the challenge. Whenever you exit some of these corners, you've got the curbing on the outside, and what happens is it's an off-camber curve once you go too far on the other side, and that just kicks the car out a little bit. On that specific turn, your option is to tag the wall a little bit.
Got a pass for P4, and the 89 backs out last second. The 26 just decided to completely obliterate the first left-hander in the bus stop and go right through the grass. Oh, they are all over the place, boys. Here comes Combs in the 77. Showing the nose. The wheel hop. Oh, and there goes Ryan Strunk. Strunk locked up the tires and goes right end first into the wall, able to continue going, but now Passmore's on his back bumper heading down towards turn number 1.
Well, and looking at it, looks like just in following along with Gary Sack, he's definitely stronger as he got a little bit loose out of turn 1.
Oh, he's
spun it
really
around.
loose.
If I'm Sack, I'm going to be really frustrated because he was definitely more competitive in those more technical parts of the corners, and you know the driver in front of him just ultimately wouldn't let him have any inch. It was I'm going to run you all the way through.
We still have 27 laps to go. Sack has dropped to P9. Doesn't look like there's any damage on that Ford Mustang. Actually, it looks like the nose might be punched in a little bit.
Yeah, the nose is kind of... He's got a little bit of a fat lip.
Shouldn't hurt running here as much as other tracks. But he's fallen all the way back to P10. And I could tell he is not happy in that helmet.
Oh, definitely not. Even right before that happened, going back to the second to the final turn here at Watkins Glen, he ended up getting into the rear of Tyler Dixon, who was the driver who took him too wide as he was making the pass.
That caused the stack up in the penultimate turn, which ended up with the 67 in the outside wall, or inside wall. But Gary's gonna have to put his head down and continue going. It's still 26 laps is a long time. We're looking at just about a half hour of racing to go.
Ooh, this race is about to get real fun. The sun just came out. Ooh, the 89 just smacked the wall again. Oh, we got one spinning back in turn 1.
Lewis Sullivan in the Budweiser 38.
Yeah, it's just that off camber exit. Once you get to a certain point, you can even see it from that angle. You go from having an angled curb to it's angling in the opposite direction. If you're trying to crank that wheel back, you're going to go around.
You know, good for him not to hit anything. Just losing a couple positions is a hell of a lot better than sitting the rest of the race in the pits.
He's going to want another one from his sponsor after that one.
2, please.
Hey, can we get a 30 pack up in the broadcast booth? I'm pretty sure we can finish that before the end of the broadcast.
Yeah, I can. What about you guys?
Travis Eccles with an issue on the racetrack. I could see him in the 80s. He's just gonna go long.
You have to wonder if you end up running the bus stop. Is there a rule that you have
There
to
it
hit
is.
the brake? You can see he hits the brakes. All right. I guess that answers my question.
Has to stop, give back the positions, and then he can continue. Probably also has to clear whatever slowdown as well. Oh, and there goes the 82 now. Lucas Boyer out of the carousel. Boys, this car looks squirrely here tonight. Multiple cars going around.
It is definitely a challenging track for these stock cars. They make it look simple on TV, and it is a higher speed track, but it is not easy.
Track temperature is 89 degrees and climbing.
Oh, that's going to make things a lot more difficult.
And looking at the weather, it does not look like we're getting any clouds back anytime soon.
Back to this battle for P9. Gary Sack closing in on John Nidek. And then up front a little bit further, Andrew Combs. Oh, there's another car around.
We had a 59. Yeah, 59 went around in the carousel.
How do you do that?
There you
A
go.
little bit of a slidey slide, a little too far out.
He is way out there.
Well, he's on 2 different levels of camber, essentially, there.
Like he stayed in the gas. Let's see if we can jump to cockpit. See what happens here. Flips to grass. As Brandon says, 2 different cambers. Steps on it.
It happened in the carousel, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. We also missed the 3-car wrecking.
I didn't see the 3-car.
Yeah. His lap 6.
Here we go. Oh, he's already missing. What the heck?
Yeah, he went down into turn 1 and smacked the wall.
He had a paint scheme that went from front row Joe to front row no.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh,
Don't
he's
do that to
carrying a
Jordan
lot.
Jack.
Oh.
Ooh.
And already those front tires are broken. Wow. And you can't even steer. That left front just broken off the axle. And he's gonna have to jump the pit road. Tim Pugil.
We're trying, folks. There's a lot of action.
There it is, an
Trying to
ungodly
keep up
amount of
with it.
action. Devore
We got pit
Mulry,
stops, too.
Gary Sack on pit road. But your leader almost 5.5 seconds ahead of Brennan Anderson. It's Josh Grosso with 21 laps to go. We are clicking lap times by very fast. About a lap will get you a minute 11, minute 12.
Minute 11-ish average. The faster guys are doing 110s.
But there is your race leader. As a 29 goes right through the bus stop again. That's Phil Stanhart.
Well, I just want to give a little bit of a shout out. I'm obviously going through the field trying to find some of the best action, and I just want to give a shout out to Ryan Strunk. He's trying to keep up with this battle in front, but exiting turn 1, Ryan Strunk almost lost it, almost on the wall. As actually these 3 cars are coming up on 2 cars that are blocking the track. Don't back up! Don't back up! No!
Oh!
Oh!
And there goes the 67. We were talking about him. Devore Mulry blocking the racetrack. And it looks like the 89 of Gary Sack. Gary Sack is going to blow in through the bus stop. Oh!
Oh! It just looked like the 5 car just got loose, and if you remember watching the Cup race with Kimi Räikkönen when he hit the wall, it was very similar to that. Just came across the nose, and then at that point, there's a track lock. Not much you can do.
Very unfortunate. That's going to take out the 89, the 5, and most likely the 67 as well. I can imagine listening to the race audio right now. Probably not that great. Michael Jervy on pit road now as well. In the 13. Strunk with a black flag.
Yeah, plenty of damage to that car. It's a real shame because I was saying he had a great save out of turn 1. He very easily could have nosed into the outside wall, saving it. Ended up just getting enough out of it to be good, only to have that happen in bus stop.
Now we're looking at just these 2 cars now for a battle. A little bit of a checkup coming out of the bus stop when all that happened. The 77 looks like he's got a pushed in front nose from getting into the back of the 26 at Dixon. But for the most part, the drivers are still heading forward as they get by the 14 of Ryan Keyser. Honestly, the closest battle we have on the racetrack right now are these 2 drivers.
Well, we're at the point in the race where, you know, as I'm going through the field, we only have
Leader on pit road.
Josh Grosso.
Roughly 6 cars on the lead lap, but we have a lot of cars still in this race that are a lap down or 2 laps down, so you're at the point where we're starting to get a little bit of some rolling roadblocks.
Brennan Anderson is taking over the lead.
Natural chicanes.
Natural chicanes.
Cody Sanborn with another issue on the racetrack. Going into turn number 1 in the Liquid Death Ford Mustang. That hurt.
It's a bit too much on it. Oh, and he tries to get it back around.
Right in front of race leader Brennan Anderson.
Wheel hop is no joke in these cars.
And these ARCA vehicles were part of the most recent update just a couple days ago.
In the open setups, we usually crank a lot of rear brake into these things just to get them to slow down and rotate. I can only imagine how far they're allowed to adjust on the fixed setups.
Probably not much. Joe Robert is back 7.3 seconds. Anderson is in a zip code of his own as Lucas Boyer and Cody Sanborn are now on pit road. Very excited to see how everything is going to pan out once everybody hits pit road. Andrew Combs hitting from the 4th position.
It looks like the 7's going to try to overcut a little bit, sit here and run some hot laps while the fuel load is low.
Yeah, he's very much
you can actually
really good laps.
Yeah, you can gain a lot of time by doing that, and in fact, he's running about the same lap time that he was running before. So I mean, we'll see what happens when when the cycle of pit stops goes through. 2 advantages to doing this right now is, you know, like I said, running faster laps with low fuel load, and you take on less fuel when you come in for a pit stop. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen.
Yeah, it looked like for the most part the drivers were cutting the race in half or just shy of halfway. So our top 4 have yet to pit. Anderson, Robert, Dixon, and Passmore all have yet to come to pit road. Josh Grosso, the first driver to come down pit road, should cycle back out as the leader. We'll have to see. He's dealing with some lap traffic. There's the 72 of Kenneth Passmore. Back up to 4th place.
7's in clean air right now.
Yeah, but he's in the middle of doing some Tokyo drift action, as we saw in turn 1. As I heard your "oh" reaction, I saw the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah, you really don't want one of those Tokyo drifts incidents to really end up into being an accident causing you the event. He's got 9 seconds over P2. Tyler Dixon now on pit road in the 26 Toyota.
Well, and he is taking advantage of that clean air because he is picking up a gap on what would be presumably the leader once the pit stops go through, which only makes it better for him.
Right now, from Anderson to Grosso, it's 32 seconds.
This is about to become very entertaining.
We got a car around the bus stop.
That's Cody Sanborn.
Doing his best impression of a Honda, clearing that grass out.
Make sure you bill Watkins Glen for the lawn job. It's called agricultural racing for a reason.
You can find it at your local short track.
I got the sectors on the bottom of your screen for Anderson and Grosso to show you guys the difference between the two. Grosso with a 109.98 last time by.
Well, this has happened as Anderson is getting involved with some lap traffic here.
That's
really
the
hoping to make quick
77
work
of
of them.
Andrew Combs. That now laps up to 4th place. I cannot wait to see the 7 pit where he's going to cycle out. It's either going to P1 or P2, unless he speeds on pit road. Grosso, Sector 1.
We'll have
On
to wait
pit
long.
And on the pit road
Pit
we
road.
go. Grosso had a better Sector 1, 2.5 tenths. Let's see if Sector 2 changes. Joe Robert is also on pit road. Another 2 tenths.
Grosso's easily got this. He's not even stopped yet, and Grosso's coming out onto the front straight.
Yeah, but it depends on how much fuel he's taking and if he's going to take tires. I think it's going to be close.
There he goes.
It's closer than I thought it would be. Yeah, he came out in front.
Holy cow, that was close.
No tires, fuel, race lead, a 10th.5 separating the two. There they are on the race track, up through the S's, down the back straightaway towards the bus stop.
And this is why strategy racing is great, because now we've got these two cars together. They are back in their pack together. It looks like there's some contact through the bus stop. And all through that entire time, they're just trying to measure out their distance and their gap. And when's the right time to cut down the pit road?
13 laps to go. And there's the battle for the race lead. Is Joe Robert waiting in the catbird seat with these two drivers? Side by side out of the final turn, coming in 12 to go. Grosso with a whole shot out of the final turn takes the race lead over from Brennan Anderson as we see a crossover.
What a crossover move as they're going to be side by side going up through the bus stop.
Anderson's going to. Anderson's going to have the preferred line. Takes it. Holy cow, guys.
This is exciting.
I love this. These two drivers are putting on a great show.
This is the part where I wish Campigio was here. It's like, oh, this is like Marcus Ambrose and another driver here at the Glen 15 years ago.
Brad Keselowski. I mean, heck, this is like Shane Van Gisbergen and Chris Buescher like 2 years ago.
Looks like the 7's getting a little bit of a...
That back end is getting very happy.
Yeah, the 7 car's been trying to maximize his exits. He's been putting it out there, and his back end's been kicking out. The 23's definitely been trying to maximize his entries. It's slowing him down on the exit, but you can see when the 23 dives in, he closes the gap a lot more than what you'd expect. And for example, in turn 1, he was washing up, and likely he's going to wash up a little bit here. As he goes to the second part of the bus stop, we'll see how much he kicks out towards the grass. '23 just trying to get everything he can out of it. Grosso trying to get to Anderson.
Four tenths. 3/10. I honestly think Grosso cooling off his tires a little bit.
Ooh, Anderson's in the wall again. Question is Grosso send it in here? Anderson's going to block. A little bit of contact out of the exit.
Argy-bargy.
Saying, I'm going to take the inside here, but we saw it before, and Anderson's going to make it stick. He's going to side draft a little bit, try and ensure he stays there, saying, you're not going to get to the apex. I have the apex here. We're going to go down into this corner. More contact. He's a little bit too close of a side draft. No foul play by Grosso.
This is insane. And with 10 laps to go, I hope they carry this for the next 10 laps.
Oh, they very well might, because now the question is, if you're the 23, do you keep diving in trying to get your nose in there, or do you start backing up your corners a little bit? And if you're the 7, do you flip-flop that? Do you start pushing your way through the corners?
I don't think the 7's got tire left. The 23 took tires.
And you can see he is extending out that lead.
That 7's going to end up pushing too hard and end up wrecking.
Well, the thing is, anything can happen with 10 laps to go. What was the term you used earlier to my rolling roadblock? Live chicane? What was it?
Natural chicane.
Natural chicane, as we see them here entering the bus stop. It's a little bit of contact. He's underneath them. He's moved them.
Dale Earnhardt, chrome horn, beep, beep.
Just a little bit as they're still side by side. Neither of them are going to give up.
Pretty sure I've heard this in a Ludacris song before.
I'm pretty sure I have too, and I'm sure they both are calling each other one of those words.
Oh.
That's the thing about this track. You have long enough straightaways, you're going to get a little bit of a draft, and that allows the 7 to potentially go ahead and dive it in there, make some contact, as he does. If he washes up, 23 holds onto it.
With how aggressive but clean this battle is, this is insane, and I apologize for the rest of the field. This is the closest battle we have on the racetrack. Everybody else is separated by multiple seconds. Well, if anything happens to any of the other cars, we'll show you. But these guys are killing it for P1 with 8 to go.
Well, and what's even more fascinating, they both are changing up how they're driving regularly, which is why this is staying so close. They're trying to get every inch of the racetrack, trying to maximize every part of their car. If their tires are worn out, they're adjusting. If their brakes are hot, they're adjusting. Just really, really great racing by the two of these gentlemen.
And Joe, you mentioned that Grosso took tires on that pit stop. He's not pulling away from Anderson like we were expecting.
The draft is exactly what Brandon said. It's the draft. It's keeping him right there. But the 7 is just all over the place right now.
Yeah, that gap's going to open up to about a second here.
Yeah, once that second hits, that's whenever the algorithm in iRacing doesn't allow you to have that draft anymore, and that's where the 23 should be able to pull away. But we can see ahead with the amount of laps we have left to go. There are cars they're going to come up on. And those natural chicanes may come into some play.
Coming to 6 to go. That gap is just about 0.8 of a second. I think we've seen it, boys. Unless something happens to the 23, I don't think Brennan Anderson's going to be able to get there.
Well, and something can happen because, like I said, these natural chicanes coming up here, it's all about where you catch them. If you catch them in a straightaway, you're going to be fine. But at the same time, you don't know. Are they racing for something as well? You've got essentially coming up in front of these leaders. You have Lewis Sullivan and Phil Stanhart who are going to be up there, and those two are racing for position. So while you want to respect the fact that the leaders are racing, you're also racing for points. You're not just going to lay down because someone catches you. And to think that they will, I think, is disrespectful to the fact that Sullivan and Stanhart are going to be racing each other and needing points.
.2 between the drivers, a little bit further back. We still have Gary Sack on the racetrack running a modified, but then you see Lucas Boyer just a little bit further behind him.
Oh, we have a little bit of a spin in front of the leader.
That is the 8 car. Not the 8 car.
It's a 38.
38.
It's Lewis Sullivan.
I saw Budweiser and I immediately went to Dale Jr. Which is weird because it's a Ford.
At least you didn't go to Casey Kane. At least we know you're old enough.
That Casey Kane was in the 9.
He was, but he also was a Budweiser car.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
These are.
Did you say lizard?
He did.
You never seen the Budweiser lizards?
No. I thought
Oh,
you were
man.
doing your, your shtick.
That's all. That's a whole can of worms that we could open up.
So let's run through the field. Your top 10. Let's get to it. Your race leader, the driver of the number 23, leading 22 laps here this evening, Josh Grosso. Brendan Anderson sitting in second, leading 9 laps. Third, you have the 16 of Joe Robert. Tyler Dixon sitting in that 4th position. Andrew Combs in the 5th spot in the 77 Toyota. The 72 of Kenneth Passmore in 6th. 7th, John Neidick. 8th, it's Michael Derby. In 9th place, it's Gary Sack. And running out the top 10, is Lucas
29
Boyer.
just got in the 7's way.
That's going to
You'll
extend
see.
that gap.
'29 got rear-ended in the bus stop.
Oh, and there's the punt. There's the Pat McAfee. And that
I
gap
would have
right
to
now
agree with.
is over 4 seconds. Joe, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say I would have to agree to saying that that was justified, but that's just my opinion.
Well, and as he got into the corner, he just got in on a really off line, and ultimately it looked like the 7 car of Brendan Anderson. He was running the proper line, and the car in front just kind of stalled in the bus stop. Not much you can do to avoid that. As we see a car get out of the way of our leader, Joshua Grosso, making it real easy to ensure that he's able to have a clean finish here and that sort of thing.
3 laps to go. There is no battles on the racetrack right now.
But I think going back to what we were saying at the beginning of the race, specifically what Joe was saying about how it's going to come down to strategy and ensuring that you run your best possible race. I think we saw that. We saw the strategy play out. We got to see a really, really intense battle that put on a great show throughout this race. Really happy with the performance of what this league has been able to put on tonight. These drivers have a lot to be proud of executing at a road course.
Absolutely, Brandon. 100%. We had a battle tonight that we don't normally see on road courses here on the channel. 2
And that's
different
for Brendan
strategies. Anderson able to keep up with the 23 for almost 10 laps before really starting to fall off. But that's the tire difference.
It felt like it was David versus Goliath. Like no shade on Brendan Anderson at all. He had no tires, had to come out and ran his strategy well, and he put up a tough fight. I know he's not going to want second place. He wanted first, but he's got a lot to be proud of for putting on that long of a battle and trying to stick that out.
Coming to the white flag here at Watkins Glen International. 8 turns to go for Josh Grosso. Only 6 cars on the lead lap. Down the back straightaway towards the bus stop, and a flawless race for the 23 Red Wing Shoes Ford Mustang. just 2 turns remaining with about a 5-second lead over Brennan Anderson and almost a 28-second lead over third place Joe Robert. Leading 26 laps here tonight, coming home with the dominant win. Josh Grosso and Brennan Anderson's going to come home P2, leading 9 laps. Great battle between those two all race long. There's 16 of Joe Robert through the final turn. Tyler Dixon now in the 26. Seven seconds over the 77 of Andrew Combs. Dixon takes P4. Combs crossing the line is going to take P5. And then one driver that has yet to cross the start-finish line. Oh, there he is. The 72 of Kenneth Passmore. Bring in your race winner. Ripping donuts across the start-finish line. Joey Logano-esque.
This was a fun race.
This is a really great race. I'm still kind of in shock over the battle. I'm going back and I'm like going and working my way through to see the strategy breakdown. Just a really, really great race. The nerd in me is going crazy.
We don't normally see that with the stock cars on the road courses.
You don't, and that's why I was questioning myself. I was wondering, I was like, did they really have a split strategy? And they did. And that is something that just, I'm still in awe over the fact that the race went down the way it did.
Well, let's see if we can get to talking to some of our... Oh, here we got third place driver of the number 16 coming home third tonight. It's Joe Robert. Joe, congratulations on the P3 finish. How was it out there? It looked like these cars were kind of a pain in the butt to drive around Watkins Glen.
Josh is just better. Brennan's just better, man. They're fun. But once they started getting away, I had a big gap between myself and second and fourth. So it's pretty much like, well, no point in really trying to go too hard. Just try to just chill and get the third, get the points. It matters halfway into the season and, you know, gain some points, which was very crucial. You got some wild card races coming up where, you know, it's going to be pack racing. Anything can happen. You know, Richmond, and you got All Club, and you got Richmond, Charlotte, Talladega. So, I mean, we got some interesting races coming up. So, just got to build the points gap.
Yeah, next week we do take these ARCA cars to Auto Club, so it should definitely be a huge drafting and eventful and multi-grooved. I'm excited for it, but Joe, really good run this evening. I know you were kind of an island of your own sitting in third, but before we let you enjoy the podium finish, I know we say this every week and we want you to plug it every week. You got some sponsors you need to hit.
Yeah, Advantage PC. I was just watching something that happened. I want to make sure it wasn't my fault. But all right. Yeah, Advantage PC, they've been with me forever. Who else we got? We got PS Dato for Nambijin. Yacht 45 Montreal. Yeah, Yacht 45 Montreal. New England Air. Mirage SRR. Tim letting me in his chat, hanging out. Taver getting me in here. You guys for doing a broadcast. It's been good first half of the season, so hopefully we can have a good second half of the season.
Yeah, well, hoping for you, pal. You know, if you do anything like you did the first half, you should be sitting pretty. Knock on wood that I didn't just jinx you. But keep up the good work, and we'll see you in Fontana next week. Hopefully, they can get those Amazon buildings out of the way so we can have a fun race.
Yeah. Good job to Josh Grosso. Kind of figured he'd be the winner, so not too surprised about that one. But a good race, so it's a fun one.
All right,
Glad
pal.
to get out of here with good finish, good points. Wish I could have led a lap though under caution, but or not under caution, under green. But Brennan stayed out the whole stint, so couldn't do that.
All right, pal. Well, thanks for coming and talking with us. You have a fun rest of your evening.
All right, have a good night.
Joe Robert coming home in that second position. Brandon, you want to take P2?
I can take P2.
Here's P2, Mark Anderson.
All right, Mr. Anderson, you got a copy on us? Mr. Anderson.
Uh-oh, I got a little thing going on. Sorry, I can't hear you guys.
No, you're all good. We just pulled you up here and wanted to say congratulations on P2. You put on a heck of a show. Sorry, excuse my French. Really, really impressive how you two battled each other there for the lead, and what you were able to do without taking tires compared to Grosso, who took tires. Walk us through that strategy if you can, and tell us about your thought process there, and how tough was it to try and make it work.
I think he might be having issues there, Brandon.
Ooh.
But let's try. We'll come back to Mark, see if he can get that figured out. We'll talk to P1, Joshua Grosso. Josh, with the dominating win, with a hell of a battle with Brennan Anderson. How was it out there, pal? You lead 26 out of 35 laps, and you come away with just about a 5-second lead to the checkered flag over P2 Brennan Anderson. How was it out there, pal? It looked very fun with the battling.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I always love Watkins Glen, especially in stock cars, and that was a really good battle with Brennan.
Well, what was the strategy like? Because you guys pit a good, what was it, 5-6 laps apart from each other? What was the strategy with coming in on lap 17?
Yeah, I was basically just coming in, about splitting the race in half, getting a fresh setup forward and trying to undercut.
Well, with tonight, you lead the 26 laps. Like I mentioned, the really fun battle to watch, and I hope the people at home and you guys go back and watch the battle between the two of you, because it was pure cinema. With everything you've done here tonight, it's a completely different racetrack next week. Next week, we go to Fontana for Auto Club, a big D-shaped 2-mile oval that's multi-grooved. What are we expecting out of the 23 team and yourself heading out there?
Yeah, I do really enjoy Fontana, so hopefully if I can make it out next week, I'll be able to run and do well.
All right, dude. Well, before we let you go and celebrate your dominating victory, are there any sponsors you'd like to plug off of that 23 car?
No, I don't have any shoutouts.
All right, pal. Well, thanks for coming and chatting with us. You have a wonderful rest of your night. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right. Let's try P2 again.
All right,
Hello?
Mr. Anderson, you got a copy on us this time?
Yep, sorry about that.
No, you're all good. Just going through, and honestly, congratulations on P2. That was a heck of a drive. We really, really loved seeing the battle on track, and you really made it more interesting for us as road fans because there was strategy differences. You didn't take tires. Can you walk us through a little bit that strategy and how difficult was it out there?
Well, this week I did quite a bit of practicing because Watkins Glen's my home track and my favorite track. And I ran like probably 50 laps on one set of tires and had barely any fall off. So I decided to not take tires because I noticed that it wasn't going to be too bad, but it got really bad towards the end of the race.
We noticed you were doing a little bit of Tokyo drift action trying to keep up, but I mean, it kept it entertaining. The racing was really awesome to watch and clean. Even our race winner did say that was a lot of fun and really happy to battle with you. So, but going into next week, AJ, what's the track we're at next week?
Auto Club.
Auto Club, the track that doesn't exist anymore. Hopefully they cleared that out. What are you looking forward to for next week?
I love that track. I love running the top around there. I'm always you've probably noticed I'm always up towards the wall at a lot of tracks. I like to do that a lot, and Auto Club's probably one of the best tracks for it.
Awesome. Are you going to take tires there, or are you going to let that go?
I'm probably gonna take tires there. It's really old surface.
Perfect. Any sponsors you want to plug before we let you go?
No, but I do want to just say thanks for this series. For the whole broadcast, everything. I've really enjoyed this series. I've had the broadcast I've had the broadcast up every race on my phone during the race. I've been like watching it, and the broadcast is just awesome.
So we appreciate it.
Always
pal.
happy.
Thank you so much, and hopefully you're not completely just watching it while you're driving.
Under caution, I am, but not during the race.
All right, dude. Well, thank you for coming and chatting with us. Congratulations on the P2 finish. You led 9 laps over the 35. We'll see you in Fontana and, or better known as Amazon Warehouse Speedway.
Yeah.
But take care, pal. We'll see you next week.
Okay, see you guys. Go Bills.
All right, Brandon, take us home, pal.
Yeah, we saw exactly what we expected to see, and it was done 10 times better. Great strategy, as Joe had predicted, and at the end of the day, a lot of cars having complications from that power down. So really happy to see what we're able to do at Fontana. As we heard, running that high line is going to be possible. It's going to be a multi-groove racetrack, and looking forward to see the great racing this series is going to be able to put on.
Joe, final thoughts, pal?
Chaos. It was pure chaos, but this had great racing between a lot of really skilled drivers. Was not expecting to see the P1 and P2 to be duking it out mid-race right after the pit stops. That was pretty cool. Overall, highly impressed again.
All right, everybody. Have a nice rest of your week. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Go check out the merch we have down in the description. We'll see you guys next week at Amazon Warehouse Speedway, better known as Auto Club. Take care. We'll see you later.
Deuces.
Peace.